Hey guys, Chris here. Right behind me we have the 2018 Volvo XC60 T8 Inscription, and in today's video I'm going to show you guys this car on the exterior and on the interior. This XC60 has a color called electric silver, and for you guys who have been following the channel for a while know that this was the color I originally ordered my XC90 in, but I changed it last minute to osmium gray. But it is a very cool color. I do like it a lot. It's not, that light silver. It's something in between silver and my osmium gray, but there weren't too many photos of an XC90 with this color, so that made me a bit insecure. But last minute I changed it to osmium gray, and I do love osmium gray, but this is a brilliant color. So other than being a normal Inscription T8, this car has the exterior styling package, and it gives this car a few unique things. First off are these fenders, which make the stance just a bit wider, and I think it looks really cool. A much better execution than the widened fenders you get in the XC90. They just look really nice, though this car has only the 19-inch wheels, because this car is now on winter wheels, because we are in mid-October, or at the end of October, and winter is coming in our way, even though it's 15 degrees Celsius outside. Volvo put winter wheels on this car, so I think the wheels do look a bit smallish for a car with this styling package. I would love to see it with the 22s that this comes with on the summer wheels. I would probably opt for something 20s or maybe even 21s on the winter wheels. I think 19s do look a bit small with the exterior styling. Also unique to the exterior styling package, you have this lower fascia here with this skid plate here, which is actually real aluminum, like you get with the Urban Luxury Kit on the XC90. I'm not quite sure what it's called, but I don't think it's called the Urban Luxury Kit. I only think it's called the exterior styling package. But you get this really cool front fascia down here, and like all T8s, they don't have fog lights because of cooling of the battery. So you don't have any fog lights down here, but you do have a grille here, and I do believe you have a fan with a radiator to cool down the batteries. And also here you have some ducts which do duct air back to the battery pack, where you would usually have the fog lights, but the T8 deletes that. This has the Thorshammer LED lights, and on the XC60, like all 60 series cars, they extend all the way over to the grille. Or the V and S60 actually don't do that. That's only unique to the XC60, which makes this car easier to distinguish from other 60 series products. You also have this beautiful grille here, this waterfall grille. Really nice with black slots with these chrome slots in between the black slots, and also the bold Volvo logo there. Moving over to the side, we've already talked about the extended wheel arches. This is a plug-in hybrid, so you actually have the charge port here, though the cover is actually missing. Here there should be a cover. This is a press car. Again, it's actually done 18,000 kilometers. So in press car miles, that is a lot. Inscription trim gives you this inscription piece of chrome down there with inscription badging. Is a really nice detail. You also have body painted grab handles or door handles, and then you also have a body painted wing mirror there. You also have these chrome details here, satin chrome around the windows. This has tinted windows from the B pillar and back. And on the 60 series cars you get this little kink here, which is quite cool. Does distinguish the 90 and the 60 series cars, where this is just flush. Both the V60, the S60 and the XC60 gets a kind of a shoulder kink rear there, which looks very nice. Over to the rear end you have Volvo's typical, their waterfall taillights, but here they do cut into the license plate holder there, giving this a unique look and distinguishing this from the XC90. But now most Volvos do have that look, the V90, the V60, and now the XC60. So this is more commonplace than the rear of the XC90 actually tinted rear window, Volvo in big bold letters there, XC60 badging. This is the T8 Inscription, which has the twin engine hybrid drivetrain. So the exterior styling package also gives this car quad exhaust pipes with also a skid plate here in real aluminum. Looks very cool and very mean. This has a very nice and aggressive styling package. I do really like the way that this car looks. And walking around this car, you can see how this electric silver has, I don't know what color it has in it, but it's almost like a blue tint to it, because when you move around you can see how the color changes, and you see this crease here, and the door also reflects light in a unique way. So overall, the exterior styling of this car is really nice. I do like the size and the way the XC60 looks, though I would wish that this car, since it has the exterior styling package, would have larger wheels. So before we take a step inside, just want to show you guys Volvo's latest key design. If this is your first Volvo tour video, this will be new to you. If you've seen the Volvo videos before, you know what this key looks like. Inscription trim keys and artisan keys get leather covered key fobs, but the inscription trim gets the same color and the same material as the interior. This has the brown Napa leather, meaning you have a brown Napa leather key. This car has keyless go, keyless entry, so I'm going to put the key back in my pocket because you don't need that. So this car is now unlocked because the mirrors are unfolded. To lock the car, put your finger there. Mirrors fold, car unlocks. You can do this from all of the door handles, even the rear doors. Put your hand behind the grab handle again. You shouldn't be able to pull, but the car is now wet, so it might be doing some kind of weird stuff. Just washed it. But there you see the mirrors do unfold, and the car is now open. And you can also lock it again by putting your finger there, and again opening it by putting your hand behind there. So starting off with the interior, we'll start off with the door design. This has the beautiful brown leather. This is a new color that was added, I think, in 2017 for the 2018 models. So it's just been out for about a year. Came in the XC90 first, and then now in the XC60, or it might be opposite, but it's the newest color in Volvo vehicles. So this car has black plastics here, soft touch up top, soft touch all the way around, all the way down to the bottom of the door, and even on the inside of the door. Since this has the standard audio sound system, you only get a black speaker grill here. If you get the upgraded sound systems, this will look different, either with the Harman Kardon or the Bowers & Wilkins, and also will give it a much more exclusive and upscale look. Here you have this grab handle, which is in chrome, in metal, feels very high quality and very solid. This car has the electric comfort seats, giving this car memory settings. So 1 and 2 memory settings there. You also have the power door locks switches there. You have faux leather inserts here, and then you have a faux leather armrest, which is very softly padded, and you have brown stitching down there. You have the window switches here. All windows are automatic up and down, and you can also control the mirrors there. If you press these two together simultaneously, the mirrors will fold. And here you also have the child lock for the rear windows. Inside of the grab handle here for the door, you actually have rubberized surface, so it feels very nice and very high quality on the bottom there. And you also have carpeting on the inside of the door here, and then you have a rubber finish on the bottom there, so if you leave stuff down here, they won't rattle too much. So over to the rest of the interior. Just going to move this seat a little backwards. You have the seat controls here, because this car does have the comfort seats, which are power adjustable in Napa leather. As you can see here, they're also ventilated, meaning they are cooled. This car also has a massaging function. You have the Inscription logo there embossed into the headrest, and then you have beautiful stitching here on the leather seats. One of the best and most comfortable seats in the business. So let's just take a step inside, close the door. So firstly, we're granted with the 3-spoke Inscription steering wheel, which has some of the softest leathers I've ever felt in any steering wheel. It's 3 spokes and just feels very nice and buttery in the hand. On the left side here, you have the adaptive cruise control and pilot assist semi-autonomous driving functions. here, so you can increase your speed, you can decrease your speed. Here you set the cruise control. Here you increase and decrease your distance to the car in front, and then right and left makes you toggle between the different cruise control modes. On the right side you have audio control, so this is volume up and down, and you can skip tracks forwards or backwards, or radio forwards or backwards depending on your audio source. Here you have voice commands, and then this brings up the trip computer, which is then in the 12-inch digital gauge cluster. Just going to fire up the car so you can have a quick look at that, but I have a whole separate video on this, the head-up display and the 12-inch, the 9-inch Sensus infotainment system in a whole separate video. Please check the link up there in the right corner. So this car has the upgraded leatherette dashboard with the contrast stitching there. Just lifts the quality, the luxurious feeling of the car, because you also get leather here and all the way down here, and also on this portion. This has the upgraded linear wood. This comes with driftwood as standard, and I think with the brown interior, this wood is a better choice. It suits the car better. Over there on the right side, you have the Swedish flag embossed into the chrome strip there, which is a nice and cool detail. You also have the Swedish flag there on the front passenger seat, which is also very cool. The center console, as I said, you have this 9.3-inch Sensus infotainment system. Not going to go through that in this video. You have these vents here, which are very, very nice, which are vertically, and you can turn them or open them and close them with this knob here, which is in a knurled diamond cut finish. They feel very high quality and very nice. You can hear the clicking sound there. Down here below, you have basic controls, which are mandatory. That's why these buttons are here. So you have a large audio control, audio knob here, which is also knurled and diamond cut, very high quality, and you can play pause there. You have the hazard buttons here on the left side, and then you have the front defroster, rear defroster, skip forwards and backwards. This is your temperature sensor for the interior, and this is just a blank button because this same button stack is used in the XC90, which has the glove compartment released there. This just has the traditional glove compartment, but it is quite large. This particular car does not have the cooled driver's compartment that would have a switch up here with a snowflake logo. Materials are very high quality. Here you have soft touch plastics, as I talked about. You have the leatherette dashboard there. This is real open pore wood, glossy trim here. But this, a little bit disappointingly, is hard touch plastics. That feels a bit cheap. I think they could have made that in a different material, but I think that is also par for the class, so I can't complain too much. Down here in the center console, since this is the T8 hybrid, we get the crystal shifter from Røde. I do apologize, it's an O, not an Ö. I've said Ö before. Røde in Sweden, which is a Swedish crystal maker. This electronic shifter is very easy to use. Some people do complain because you have to double tap it between gears and neutral. I don't mind that at all. More of that beautiful linear wood here. Also open pore. Here you have a small cubby, which is actually perfect for your phone. I'm just going to show you guys that. Place your phone there is perfect placement for that. Though this car is lacking a wireless charging pad, that would be very welcome. The XC40 has that down here, so maybe a redesign will change that. Open up, this reveals two large cup holders, more storage here, a 12-volt power outlet. So it's really nice that you can, close that up, and you can still have stuff here. You can even have your phone here if you want to do that. That is not impossible. Here you have more of that glossy black trim. It's not too much, but glossy black trim, it does attract fingerprints, and as you can see here, also dust. There's a parking button, or there just your park on the transmission, and here is your ignition switch. So if you haven't seen this before, this is unique to Volvo and very cool. So you toggle it right to start the engine and right to stop the engine. And here you also, which is also diamond cut knurled finishing, very nice, high quality. Also, you have your drive modes here, which is a scroll wheel, which lets you, scroll between the different drive modes. That's what that looks like. And then you also have your electronic parking brake here, and also your auto parking brake hold. It's very nice that you have everything here within a very short vicinity, because you start, you get into your car, you turn it on, you take off the handbrake, and then you put it into drive. Also, when you stop, you press park, you put on the handbrake, and then you stop. So everything here, and it also negates the need for a key here in the dashboard, though modern cars don't have keys anymore, but different cars, competitors would have a switch here. I do prefer it down here in the center console. And then here you have a very softly padded, covered in Nappa leather armrest that opens up to reveal. Not the largest, because this, again, being the T8 hybrid, you have the battery pack actually here in the center tunnel of the vehicle. So that means this is more shallow than, well, all other engine variants of this car. But it's still nice enough and big enough and a useful space. And here you also have a USB port, one for charging and one for Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Lastly, in the front seat, we have this frameless mirror. This has a black roof lighting, which I think is an option. So let's go ahead and check out the rear seat, what that looks like. So this seat is now sat waist backwards. I think this would fit somebody maybe 6 foot or 6'1". So let's check out the rear door. Same materials as the front door, soft touch plastics all the way down to here. So we don't have to recap too much of that. And you also have that same plastic speaker grill here. This is a blank button. I haven't seen that before, because usually you would have the lock switch here, but you don't have that on this car, which is a first in Volvos. More of that faux leather inserts here, and also faux leather insert here. Also very softly padded window switch, automatic up and down, and you have a storage bin here in the door, which would hold probably a soda of sorts. And this is also what the rear bench looks like. Very comfortable and actually very spacious to be this class of vehicle, though not the biggest. It has the same perforated leather here, though the rear seats aren't cooled like the front seats, but this is probably just an aesthetic choice to have coherence between the rear seats and the front seats, that they look the same. This is very cool. You have ISOFIX points here, which you access by just lifting this up. On other cars, you have to remove this, like on our Audi A4 and the Volvo XC90 actually have these exposed. I do like the look of this better. Just going to show you something quickly, talking about ISOFIX. This is very practical. So to turn off the airbag, you have this switch here. It's now on, and then you pull it out, and then you turn it, and now it's off. And up here in this panel, you will get a message when you start the car that it will show that the airbag is turned on or off, and you'll also get a message to confirm in the dashboard. Though you only get that message when the first time you change the settings here. I wish it would, every time you started the car with the airbag off, it would let you know, because sometimes I do forget to turn on the airbag, because usually when I'm driving alone I put my daughter here, but when I drive without my daughter or with other passengers here, I usually find out that the airbags actually switch off, and you can see that up here, but that's not a panel you look at too often. So I wish they would give it in the dashboard every time you started up the car. So just gonna turn that back on, and it's very practical and easy, because when you put the child seat here, it's one operation. Though our Audi A4, you can do it in the glove compartment. You have to use the key, which isn't very practical. But if you forget to turn it on while driving, if you remember it, you can actually turn it on while on the move. You just open up the glove box, you put the key in. Here you actually have to stop the vehicle and open up the door. So give and take. is, well, the lesson there. That's an easier solution in some ways, but also a more difficult solution in other respects. So let's take a step inside the rear seat now again. So rear leg room is very good. So as I said, this seat is set to somebody maybe 6 foot, 6'1", and I'm not the tallest guy. I'm actually just about 5'7". Though somebody which would be 6 foot would sit nicely behind another person that is 6 foot. So this car, not being fully spec'd like all other press cars, actually doesn't have the rear seat climate package, and that's what this looks like. So instead of having, you know, the LCD display here which controls temperature, you just have a small storage bin here. Though this has the upgraded rear heaters, seat heaters, which are just buttons with 3 settings, but all Volvos do. And also you don't have the air vents back here, but all Volvos, even without the rear seat climate package, always gets rear vents on the B pillars there. So that is a very nice addition, a very nice move from Volvo. On the rear seat of rear of the seat, this is soft touch plastics. Other manufacturers have hard touch plastics here, but they have opted for soft touch plastics, which does give this a really high quality feeling. And also the roof fabric is all the way almost down to below my knee level, while other cars usually stop it there. That is very nice and very welcome. You also have a map pocket here, and then you also have a 12-volt outlet. This car also has this expansive panorama sunroof, which has this front portion that opens up all the way, which is very nice. You also have headrest there, and then you have an adjustable headrest there that you can move out of the way. Let's see if we can do that with one hand, like that. Then you also have a armrest here, and this armrest in the 60 series cars is much better than what I have in my XC90. You have cup holders here, which is covered in this beautiful rubberized plastic, so it feels very high quality. You have this storage space here, which also is rubberized plastic, and then you also have this bin here, which opens up, and you can actually put stuff there. So if you sit in the back seat, you can put your phone away, or you can put your phone there, and it doesn't even move about around. This is very different to the, you know, the armrest I have in my XC90. Lastly, I want to show you guys the trunk of this car, and you can operate it 3 ways, either by the key, where you can hold this button and it will open, electric tailgate, or you can, you know, put your foot under and do that motion there, which never works in any modern car. It doesn't matter what brand, it just doesn't work. Or you have, well, you can just operate it via the button here, like normally. This is what the trunk looks like. Not the largest trunk in the class, but for my use, it is big enough. It's very square, very flat, and very wide, so it's a very easy space to utilize. This has the standard floor. There you actually have the charge cable, and not much storage beneath here, but you can get this with a divided divided floor, where you can open up this section and you actually have a divider. This car does not have that. Here you have more storage here on the side of the trunk. You also have a 12-volt outlet here, and you can actually fold the rear seats from here electronically. And this car also has an electric trailer hitch, which comes up like that, and you have to kick it into place, semi-electric, and then hold it for a few seconds. It will drop, and then you just kick it away. This car has the optional air suspension, so you can actually lower the rear of the car while loading. Here you also have more straps. A small complaint about this car is the trunk cover, which you actually have to move out of the way manually. Our Audi A4 has that electronically, and it feels just a bit flimsy, though the operation is slick enough and very easy. As you can see there, you just tap it. I wish they would make this electronic like, well, they do in other cars, because sometimes you put this up, you put your stuff in, and then you close that, and then you forget to put this down. I'm not a perfect person, so I forget stuff all the time, and then when I sit in the driver's seat and I start driving, I see that this is obscuring half of my rear of my rear view out of the rear windshield, and I have to stop and put that down. So that is quite annoying in my opinion. Wish they would do that electrically. So there you go, guys. That was my extensive exterior and interior tour of the Volvo XC60 2018 model T8 Inscription. I hope you liked today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always, guys, please subscribe. See you guys later, and goodbye.